Hello, and welcome to Seckman Presents Fun with Horns. I'm Seckman. Today we'll be talking about the ways to hold your horn both standing up and sitting down, as well as talking about proper embouchure for your instrument. Now, before we ever get the horn in our hands, it's important to know how we need to sit and how we need to stand while playing our instrument. Right now, I am currently seated on the front edge of this piano bench. Piano bench works great because it doesn't have a back, and it forces you to sit up tall, which provides proper breathing techniques, which is important for any brass instrument, first of all. So let's start with our feet. Right now, my feet are currently about parallel right now, but we're going to change that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to slightly turn my body a little bit, and my left leg is going to come out just a hair, and then my right leg is going to be about where my ankle is. My right toes are going to be about where my ankle is right here. And this will be important later on, and you'll see why. And we're sitting up nice and tall. Here's how I like to think of it. The way I get myself nice and tall is that I imagine that there's a silver string coming straight out of the crown of my head. So I'm going to take this string and pull it up just like that to where I'm sitting nice and tall. And that way my air column from my mouth through my windpipe and into my lungs, as well as down here in my diaphragm, is well supported, so I can get a nice big inward and outward motion of air, which is important for any brass instrument, especially the French horn. Now here, this is important why we have our left leg in front of our right leg. To our beginning students, they need to be able to hold the instrument to where it can rest gently on their leg until they can get their right arm muscles developed enough to where they can lift it off their right leg. And if you can see here, I have it resting properly right on my right thigh, and I don't have it in my playing position yet, but this is about where you want it for beginning students. Now you may be wondering, why do we have it rest on their right leg? Well, big thing is that we need to be able to not have our bodies come to the instrument, but we need to bring the instrument to our bodies. That way, we still have this supported air column action going on. That way we have the proper breathing, so we can get a good sound through the instrument. Now here's how this is going to happen. I have my the bell of the horn resting on my right leg, as I showed in the last clip, and I'm simply going to bring it up to my mouth like that. Now as you can see, I'm a little bit bigger than a 5th or 6th grader. As you can see, the mouthpiece is resting about right here. And we'll be talking about embouchure and where the mouthpiece needs to go in a little bit, but here's how you can adjust it. If your 5th or 6th grader is a little bit taller, a little bit bigger than your other players, what you can have them do is simply adjust their right leg backwards or forwards, depending on whether the mouthpiece comes too far down or too far above on their lips. And it's as simple as this motion right here. That's a simple adjustment for you. Now let's say if you have a student who's a little bit smaller than your average 5th or 6th grader, you can simply have them prop their leg up on a wooden block or a stack of books or something. Now that I have the instrument coming to my body, we're ready to play. Wait a second, no we're not, we still have a couple things to cover. Most beginning students will say, hey, this is my right hand, And this is really what I should be holding the valves with. And this is my left hand. This is what I should be holding the other side of the instrument with. Not on French horn. It's the complete opposite. On the French horn, you will actually be playing the valves, the thumb, 1, 2, and 3, with your left hand. And then your pinky will just go right down on this ring right here. Now then, for some of your beginning students, you may have smaller fingers and they may not be able to reach the valves properly. So a good technique to do, or something to fashion together, is to solder dimes onto the valves. That way your students can be able to reach them no matter where they're at. Now, a good thing to keep in mind when playing each of your valves is to kind of slightly curl your fingers in a little bit to where each of the tips of your fingers have a good coverage area on each of the valves, so you can strike them when you need to as you're playing. Now you're saying, okay, good, that's what I do with my left hand, but what about my right hand? The right hand plays a crucial role in the playing of the French horn, and is unlike any other of the brass instruments. Here's what's special about the right hand of the French horn. Now if you notice, I'm sticking it right into the bell of my horn. This is crucial, especially in tuning, as well as other techniques and effects for the sound that comes out of your bell. Now here's the proper way to use your right hand in the bell. Now good technique tells us that we want at least a good 1.5 to 2 inches of space between our hand and the rest of the bell here. Now, in order to get a good sound with your right hand in your bell, what you're going to want to do is take your hand, and this is what I would do with my beginners, is take your right hand flat and then sort of cup it in like that. You want a nice curve, you want a good bowl shape in the palm right there. Almost as if your kids are asking mom and dad, can I have some money? Can I go play the crane machine, or can I play Miss Pac-Man or something? Kind of like that. Now what you're going to do with the right hand, once it's properly cupped like this, is that you're going to take it over as if you're dumping the money out that the kids don't need, and you're just going to slightly stick it in there. Now generally, you would want your thumb and knuckle to rest about right here inside the bell. And this is about where the plate is for this connecting ring right here. So you're going to want to go ahead and stick it in. We have our cup, and just stick it in. Now, one of the most important things to remember when using your right hand on the horn is that you just want to make sure that both your fingers, your palm, your wrist, and your hand stay straight. If I were to do this and then bend my arm back like that, that would create improper sound, and it could detune the horn as your students are playing it. However, if you keep it straight like this, you should not have any problems with tuning or pitch issues. So now you're thinking, great, I know how to play it sitting down, but what about standing up? Standing up is fundamentally a lot like as if you were playing it sitting down. However, all you're going to be doing is standing up. But there are a few differences while standing up, playing your French horn. You still want to have your good supported air column by standing up straight with a nice supported lungs and diaphragm that will help you breathe in and breathe out to get the air through the horn properly. Now, the same rules apply with your valves and how you hold the horn with your right hand, except this time, all you're really going to be doing is supporting this half of the horn with your entire right arm. And the same thing applies, is that we're going to bring the instrument to us instead of bringing bringing us to the instrument. And generally what we want is the bell to be pointing kind of out our side like this, and that's where the sound is going to be shooting.